Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iRacing IndyCar Open Series here at beautiful New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We are up here in Loudon at the Flat Mile, and it's time for another amazing round of the iRacing IndyCar Series. I'm Austin. I am joined by Marco Barbonera, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
Hello Austin, hello everyone. The drivers already completed qualifying with only 3 minutes on the clock, so they are all eager to go, and of course the system has automatically pushed forward, so we already have the grid for you. Adam Blocker, Alexander Van de Zandt first and second in front of Andrew Marquez and Philip Kraus. Adriano Pinheiro is in fifth, the king of the ovals this season, more or less, in front of Chris Willite. Adam Crane is in 7th in front of Connor Harrington. Jason Broff is in 9th in front of Laura Gerrard. Rob Angelnieks in front of Rashad Craig. They are 11th. And 12th, moving down the grid, we have Nicolas Isidro and Todd Larrabee. And last but not least, this in the last row, Jason Wallott and Tim Williams. Austin, I'm very, very excited by the fact that the drivers have already qualified. They really want to go, and this is going to be a very interesting race, especially tire management strategy is going to be key for a successful run at the Magic Mile.
Absolutely. The Magic Mile is going to be a big amount of fun here today. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be really focused on tire wears and fuel conservation as well, because it is looking like it is possible for a one stop, but everyone's going to be focusing on keeping that right front tire alive, especially because that's going to be taking a lot of abuse here. And also you need to care for those rear tires. Car is going to be very it's gonna adjust over the race here today. It's going to be very interesting to see how all these drivers tackle that change, as Adam Blocker is already so eager. He's racing the pace car off the line.
Everyone is so amped up, and hopefully, you know, the same goes for us. I'm surely very amped up for this race. It's a historical racetrack. It has been played host to many great races in real life of kart, then IRL, IndyCar, some of the most one of the most infamous moments in IndyCar history a few years ago, and always delivers here in the virtual world of iRacing. Be careful, the more you go down in the corner, the more it gets very slippery, so you can go for moves, but, you know, with caution.
Yeah, with caution, it's definitely going to be the name of the game here at New Hampshire. Such a fun track, such a very unique track. It's going to be giving us another amazing show here on iRacing for the IndyCar Series. Pace car is pulling off, and it's time to get onto green flag racing. Adam Blocker puts the pedal to the metal and takes a big jump on Alex van der Zandt, and van der Zandt is caught up with Kraus right behind, and that is Marquez in 4th place, looking down low, and then side by side right behind him in the battle for 5th place.
Gotta be careful with the skull tires as they enter into turn 3 and 4. Everyone seems to be very mindful of their cars, and now we have cars. Oh, big save from Isidro.
What a save.
He was sliding on all 4 wheels. That was quite incredible from Nicolas Isidro. He lives to fight another day. We stay green.
Yeah, we do stay green. Kraus up 2 spots off the line immediately on the back of Adam Blocker. This is looking like a reverse situation of the Zandvoort race, where these two were racing to the very last lap, and that was for the lead, but now it's also the fight for the lead between these two now here at the start. But Kraus, what an amazing start by Philip Kraus.
Yeah, plus 2 spots for him. Van der Zandt -1. Andrew Marquez is -1, and Pinheiro is same. Same goes for Willite. Yeah.
We're right on board of Chris Wilhite. You can see everybody taking it to that, well, marked 3rd lane right there, just riding underneath that groove as Chris Wilhite is going down low. That's Connor Harrington in the wall.
And let's see if we get a caution or not. I guess we will
he's gonna
get a caution. No, we do have a caution.
Yeah, his car was merged with the wall right there. But yeah, it looks like Harrington might have got bumped into the wall. Oh, he hit the wall extremely hard.
Okay, we might have to rewind just a bit.
Yes. Here is Connor Harrington. It's on the back of... Looking down the inside. Just back and kick out right here. That's lap earlier. Behind Chris Wilhite, and we were on board with Chris Wilhite. We saw Wilhite get very low on the straight. So did Harrington go around the outside when Wilhite went low? Or is Wilhite going high? Harrington going low.
And it's the next lap, so apologies for that. We'll find it.
Well, there's him in the wall. There we go. Oh, Wilhite. Yeah, he did go low. Harrington got onto the outside, and I think Wilhite off the exit might have given him a little bit of a rub.
And Adam Crane had an incredibly close call.
Yeah, he did hit him. They did touch.
Look at Adam Crane. Or maybe a bit of netcode, you know?
Ooh, Adam Crane with a big dodge right there. Adam Crane, the current championship overall leader on iRacing, and Philip Kraus in 2nd place. Connor Harrington, the current 3rd place in the iRacing IndyCar Series championship standings, and then Pinheiro in 4th. But Connor Harrington, that is not how you want your race to end on the SOF race right there. We did have a few pit stops early on. Jason Brophy went in there, Richard Craig, Isidro, Todd LeBrier, and Jason Willett, and Tim Williams headed into the pits, and this is Tim right here.
Yeah, just waiting, probably, for the... while following the instructions to merge. But yeah, Blocker from Crows, your top 2. You're on board with the number 3 and the number 2, the 2 teammates. Van der Zandt is in 3rd, Marquez in 4th, Pinheiro in 5th. Garrett is up 2 spots, same for Angelnieks. And of course Brophy down 1, but everyone else up 1 after the crash. Connor Harrington, first casualty, and Williams is heading once again for the pits. So some issues for the number 13 car as we are getting ready to restart.
Yep, back to green, and Adam Blocker puts belts in metal once more. So we return back to racing here at New Hampshire. Van der Zandt trying to get back on and ahead of Krause. There's Pinheiro onto the inside of Marquez. They're going to go side by side heading into turns 3 and 4. Marquez on that outside line though, and a caution is back.
We have a caution
again. Richard Craig in the wall.
Massive damage to his car. Isidro also.
Yeah, Isidro has lost the wheel in the front wing of his car right there.
We are on board with Rashad Craig. Let's see what happened.
Very close restart.
Very cautious from Craig, as you can see here. So something must have happened in front of him.
He's already looking down the inside right here. Gets a good.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was Craig. He back end kicked out right there. Tried going up onto the inside, but cold tires, like we were saying, and you know, that's collected both of them. And right in front of Isidro.
Our third car had a very close call there.
That was Brophy.
No, Brophy is the bright green car.
That's Todd.
It was Todd. Now,
Todd got a scary look at that.
Did he get involved in?
Todd was sliding into that. How did he not make contact with Isidro?
So, by the way, since we have time right now, let's go back and see what happened in the first lap to Nicolas Isidro. Because if you remember, he was coming out of 4 sideways.
Yeah, Isidro also had a big loose moment, and I feel like it's going to be an exact replay of what we saw with Todd. Just getting very aggressive into turns 3 and 4.
This is the first corner of the race, lap 1, turn 1 and 2. Now we should... a bit of a sideways moment, huh? Oh, man!
Oh. So lucky that didn't bring out a caution immediately.
But Destiny had, you know, it really wasn't his night for Nicolas. He avoided the disaster on that slide, but then he was the innocent victim after a shot Craig spun in front of him. And so we are seeing these drivers struggling to get grip, especially after the restarts in the corners.
Indeed. The grip is really going to be... Well, searching for the grip is going to be the main name of the game right here. Lights are off on the pace car. Once again, about ready to go green. Keeping these tires alive is definitely the also other name of the game. But, you know, all these laps under the pace car is going to be helping their fuel strategy and getting to the end of this race. As it is back to green flag racing here at New Hampshire, and Adam Blocker's been nailing these starts, getting a great jump on second place every lap. Pinheiro immediately looking down to the inside on Marquez. He's carrying the speed through the corner. They're going to be side by side heading into 3 and 4. Pinheiro diving down into that bottom, the bottom pavement patch here at New Hampshire. But Marquez able to hold it around to the outside and stay in 4th place.
Yeah, Pinheiro really wants to get the job done. He wants to join that lead trio.
He's got the speed to do it.
Yeah, maybe this is a better chance for him. But you see how much you have to lift. It's a flat track, so you don't expect the outside car to have such advantage. But the inside lines is so slippery down there that you have to be incredibly careful.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we saw at Phoenix with Pinheiro, using that outside line to actually make the move, and then defending on that inside line to force the other car into a precarious situation. There goes Marquez down to the inside. That's not how you want to defend into that corner, because around the outside, Pinheiro takes P4.
And Gerhardt gets jumped by Angelnieks and by Brophy. At the same time coming out of 4, and here comes Brophy on the inside of Angelnieks, hunting for 8th place.
Yeah, Angelnieks and Brophy side by side, very tight off the A's between these two. And they're going to straighten it out right there, but Rob Angelnieks, oh man, got his mirrors full today.
Angelnieks is able to weather the storm for the time being. At the front, it's 0.8 of a second between Blocker and Kraus. And still, now Marquez fighting with Willite for 5th place. So Pinheiro, let's see if he has the pace to go and catch Van de Zandt and company.
Well, Pinheiro in clean air is definitely something that's always happy to see for him, because we all know on how quick Pinheiro is. And he definitely can catch up to those. We ride on board of Chris Wilhite, winner of the 2021 Indy 500 here on iRacing. See him working the wheel, just trying to keep that thing pointed straight and keep the tires connected to the ground right there. But everybody seemingly spread out the same way right now and separated evenly by about a half a second. Our closest fight is involving Chris Wilhite and Adam Crane.
Adam Crane with a disappointing qualifying. Was only 7th, so he's trying to make up some. Yeah, and that can be the maybe that's when you say, okay, maybe it's my lucky. But he's from Ottawa, so maybe he's keeping an eye on the Senators game.
I believe everyone here has all their eyes on the track ahead of them right now.
Adam Crane from Ottawa, Ontario, as he's trying to get back to Willite and Marquez. So Marquez is being like a little bit of a cork in the bottle. Pinheiro was able to sneak past. But now Willite and Crane, of course, have to do the same, which is easier said than done around this place. So Austin, how do you think the two early cautions will change the strategy, if they're going to change the strategy, or maybe they won't? What do you think?
Well, of the cars that went into the pit lane just to go into the pits, they were getting fuel only. They were only going for fuel. To fuel up the cars, because I did a little calculation from our lovely friends at Apex Racing Academy. They provide a little bit of a breakdown on what we should expect during this race. They were estimating about 66 laps average of fuel of laps in the tank if you drive it exactly the same every lap. And doing the math, 66 plus 66 does not equal 140. So everyone who's gone into the pits after the first caution, they're going to go into the pits, and that will be their final stop. The caution is really going to be helping all these drivers save fuel and make it a more one-stop focused race than a two-stop gamble of a race, as this is Wilhite looking down to the inside. Well, he thought about looking down to the inside. Marquez is still diving down to the inside. He's going to be abusing that right front tire indeed, but this entire race is going to be all about tire management, and these safety cars are going to be helping the tires, as Crane's looking up to the inside of Wilhite.
Yes, Austin, but the one thing I'm taking away from these first few laps is that the inside line has absolutely no grip at all. The cars go there and stop. Even if you have massive momentum.
Yeah, you can dive it up the inside like Adam Crane is right now. Yep,
He does prove me wrong. See, it's the reverse jinx. I said it on purpose to have an overtake on the inside. Great job from Adam, and now he's up into 6th. And look at Jason Brophy coming back at angle next. This battle is reheating once again after it slowed down a bit earlier.
And once again, looking up to the inside. The inside line is the best place to pass. Brophy gets onto the gas way earlier than Oglenex. Gets a little bit loose off the exit though. Oglenex able to stay ahead of Brophy in this fight for 8th place. And once again, it looks like Jason's getting onto the throttle a lot earlier than Rob, but that car placement by Rob off the exit is just helping his momentum. Just carry him along and stay ahead, but Jason is really closing in on Rob and putting a lot of pressure on him.
Let's go on board with Rob, looking backwards towards Jason Brophy. Nothing has changed at the front, 2.3 seconds, so enjoying his best life is Adam Blocker there. Here we go on the inside, but as you can see, you need to get a lot of momentum going there, and it's not easy. Once you get it... You really need to send the car into that corner, get a cartling set, or at least get side by side with the car. You're going to be working multiple laps if you want to try that inside line move around here. And this is not just an IndyCar situation. This is every series that heads to New Hampshire. Everyone struggles with finding the right line around here, and especially the right line to get a proper overtake around here. You can battle it for multiple laps, apply a lot of pressure like Jason Brophy is still trying to do, or you can try to fake out the other car ahead and then swing it around the outside like Pinero did, as they both go down low right here. But once again, that outside line is still a lot faster than that inside line because this track is flat, but it does have more banking on the outside than the inside. Here comes Crane on the inside of Marquez. Can he make it stick? He's been the only one who's been able to pass on the inside so far. I think he can, Austin. Let's see.
He's got a good setup heading into turns 3 and 4. Crane on the inside, but he lost ground right there. Brophy got a great lunge into 3 and 4. He's made the move up into 8th place.
Nice move from Jason Brophy, so he finally gets rid of Angelnieks, who's going to look to try and stay in the draft there. Here comes Crane, another decent run.
Here comes Crane off the exit. He's got a great run, and Marquez almost makes contact with the wall. He was being very, very safe with Crane off that exit. He's even giving him room because Crane is really sent it in there. And here is Will Hyde and Marquez now side by side behind Adam Crane.
And we're having the best seat in the house, and Marquez really going up high towards the wall.
It's still going to be side by side through that corner, but it is going to be Marquez staying ahead of Will Hyde.
In the meantime, Adriano Pinheiro has caught up to Alex van der Zandt.
Yeah, Pinheiro's been putting down some consistent laps after getting past Marquez. And now he is lined up with Van der Zandt. And Van der Zandt taking that inside line to defend from Pinheiro. And now Pinheiro, he is looking for that top 3 spot. He's looking on that outside line. Van der Zandt defending onto the inside right here, but Pinheiro has got a lot of pace. This is what Van der Zandt wanted. He wants Pinheiro to forcibly go down to the inside. He sends it into turn 1 and 2, but Pinheiro has cleared him already through the corner, and Pinheiro up into 3rd.
And for the viewers who are not particularly knowledgeable of this is the first race of the week for this driver, so it's a lot of it, Austin, in my opinion, improvisation. You can try the setup, you can try all the modifications during the week leading up to now, but this is really the first time you know how the car reacts, and now you have to work to make the overtakes in traffic. So it's also another thing that I love of this series. In other series we broadcast the SOF races like later in the week, later on Saturday, Sunday. Here is the first official race of the week, and so you absolutely have no chance of trying unless you hit the track, you know. So it's an extra degree of difficulty, in my opinion.
Yeah, first SOF is just like well, an actual series. Everyone's at the track and racing on it for the first time in the year. You can test on it throughout the year, but the real race is when you get there. There's no do-overs here in the IndyCar SOF racing. You do get a do-over throughout the week if you do not have a good race, but this is the highest strength of field race we would have throughout this week, as it usually is, as tradition being the first race of the week. It's always the highest. So everyone here is, you know, they did all their testing. They know how they're going to be running this race. They sometimes have a few hostess sessions with a few friends over the weekend. See how they would race each other over the weekend and compare setups and notes with each other, especially if they're racing with their teams.
We haven't given too much love to our leader, who's been riding off in the sunset so far.
Yeah, he's 5 seconds clear.
And I'm sure he doesn't mind if we don't show him too much, because this means he's having a boring and eventful race at the front. And that's exactly what you want if you want to bring home the victory. And that's exactly what he's doing. Adam Blocker dealing with a bit of lap traffic. We have 13 cars remaining on the field right now. Nicholas Isidro, Rashad Craig and Connor Harrington are unfortunately all out of the race. Adam Crane has got back to the back of Alex Van der Zandt in the meantime.
Yeah, Crane, he's in the draft of Van der Zandt to really catch up to him. And you can see Van der Zandt and Crane taking very different lines with each other through 3 and 4. Here comes Adam Crane. Crane looking down to the inside. Van der Zandt staying on to the outside right here. Crane is still looking down to the inside. Looks like Van der Zandt doesn't have the space right there to stay ahead of Crane. And Van der Zandt is now passed. And Crane up into P4.
Van der Zandt down 3 spots, so same as Marquez. They seem to have like a better setup on the short run to begin the race. Here comes Chris Willite on the inside of Andrew Marquez. Careful there. Still side by side, they come out of turn 2 and still nothing to show for Chris Willite in his pursuit of 6th place.
Yeah, and I can tell you the tires are really wearing down, but the track has gotten a lot darker. The clouds have rolled in, and that's going to be affecting the temperature here on the track just a little bit. Track temp is 95. It's a bit toasty out there. And as the air temperature is 74 degrees here at noon in New Hampshire. So the sun is beating straight down onto the pavement right here, so the track may get a little bit harder throughout the race.
Larrivee, Wallet and Williams. Yeah.
Ooh, Todd getting very, very high up the track right there. Almost making contact with the wall, but here comes Todd with a great run down onto the inside. The fight for 12th. Good look. Staying right into that third lane. Almost making contact off the exit. Look at Williams he has the draft right ahead of him. Actually, Willett has the draft of Williams ahead of him, but Todd is just pressuring him off the inside. Also, speaking of the inside pressure, this is Will Height once more on the outside with Marquez right behind him.
And it works for Chris Willite. Nice job. So the outside really working nicely for the overtakes. You have to be a bit I wouldn't say lucky, but you have to hope that your opponent goes and tries to cover the inside more, because the overspeed you get on the outside is clearly working much better, whereas on the inside you really have to send it. And as we know, going on the inside too many times in a row will compromise your tires and give you a much tougher time towards the end of the stint. Speaking of which, Austin, we are getting closer to the green flag stops.
Yeah, the green flag stops are closing in of our estimated full green flag stop. We were estimating around lap 66 is when we're going to start seeing the green flag stops. With those two safety cars, it's probably pushed back just a little bit. It's probably around lap 72 is my prediction. and that'll be enough to get them to the end of this race if they play their cards all the way right. And we might see a little fuel saving near the end of this race, but it's all about tire life here, and Adam Blocker is definitely the best on his tires around New Hampshire.
Listen to how much they are feathering the throttle. They really have to be careful in this moment of the run, Austin.
Indeed, the rear of the car can get very loose around here. I can tell you the rear tires have a little bit of mini spin ups, especially if they're using all the power coming out of the corner. This is Tim Williams at the bottom of the track. I think Tim might be heading into the pit lane, because that was a very odd line he took. And this is Van der Zandt and Will Height going side by side. Van der Zandt on the outside, Will Height onto the inside. And Will Height's got the position, but Van der Zandt is still there on the outside line. But Will Height able to make the move down onto the inside for P5.
And so Van der Zandt and Marquez are both dropping, and now they are one in front of the other. So let's see if Marquez can catch back up to Van der Zandt, or if they're going to stabilize the both of them around 6th and 7th place, waiting for the pit cycle. In the meantime, Pinheiro and Cross is in a bit of traffic. This could be an interesting battle, but also Crane has caught back to Pinheiro, so it's getting very interesting for 2nd place all of a sudden.
Yeah, 2nd place is going to be a really tight race between them. All 3 of these drivers been having 3 different races, but Adam Crane has probably had the most exciting out of these 3, moving up through the field after not the best qualifying position and avoiding a massive wreck early on. But here comes Adam Crane closing in on Pinheiro. Pinheiro, I believe, is dealing with is that the 13? Yes, it is Tim Williams. Tim Williams staying on the outside line and, well, kind of causing a little bit of separation between these two. And Alex Van der Zandt is in the wall. Van der Zandt spawned to the inside of the track. Caution is not out.
No, we should say green unless he triggers the yellow.
He's
now
toast.
He doesn't.
He toast. Caution is not out, and that is, well, pretty much the race for Van der Zandt. Big wiggle all coming out of turns 2 and hard into the wall. And that is race over for Alex Van der Zandt. You can see him trying to counter steer into there, but, you know, the back end, no grip back there, taps the wall. There goes the front wing, the right front suspension as well is a little bit dinged up, and the rear wing is also dinged up right there. So no caution right now, but the tire wear is coming in. Van der Zandt, well, I'm going to have to say that is race over unless he can get back out on track right there. And there's another caution to come out, but I don't believe there is going to be. But they are really struggling with these tires.
That is the quintessential New Hampshire worn tires crash that we've seen many times in the past. And once the car gets the tank slapper, you are rarely, if ever, going to save it, Austin. I've been there many a time.
Yeah, I've been there too, so much that whenever I race around here and I get into a later race, I actually switch the fuel mode into position 6 to really help me off the exit, because these guys up here, they don't go down there, but, you know, for me, I give that little extra hit of safety to keep my rear tires alive until I make it to the pit stop. Just remember not to restart in that fuel mode.
We had Todd Larry be in the pits for some repairs, because he stopped for 56 seconds and back out he comes, so not the best of races for him. Rob Angelniek's under pressure from Laura Gerhardt. Laura has had a nice race, +1 right now. Let's see if she can push into the top 8.
She's really going low onto the bottom of the track, trying to get the jump on Rob. Rob staying on that outside line. Both of them did not go into the pits during that first caution, so they're going to be nearing the end of their fuel stints here. But here comes Laura. She is closing in on Rob in that fight for 8. Rob's just glued to that outside line, so Laura's going to be forced to go back down low again. But look, she's already to the side. Rob heading into turns 3 and 4.
Very wide.
Yeah, Rob is taking really wide lines. He's not taking that preferred middle line. And there it goes. Laura Gerhardt up into 8th. Beautiful move.
Very nice job.
Kraus in second, 10 seconds behind Adam Blocker, and Adam Blocker has just been a machine today.
Alex Van der Zandt is back on track after 3 minutes spent in pit lane, but that car probably not going to be 100% because I think he broke the suspension, I think so.
Yeah, suspension damage, yeah. If you watch the replay, the front right did tap the wall and it did get pinged in, but I think that car is drivable right now. I will be reporting on his lap times. Tim Williams is in the pits on lap 67 as Kraus got a party behind him.
Yeah, Kraus, Pinheiro and Crane, as you can see, all 3 of them together, and you know what they say, Austin, 3 is a crowd.
Yes, 3 is a crowd, 3 is a party for sure.
Rob Angelix is the first taker for the pit stop.
Yeah, Angelix heads into the pits for the first time here on lap 68. And as the battle for second between these 3 is really close. You can see Pinheiro trying for that outside line, but now I feel like they're all just testing the water to see on how far they can really stretch this car to the end. Pinheiro dives down early to the inside of Kraus, drifts up the track right there as Adam Crane has a good show in front of him. He's just staying back behind there. Once again, Pinheiro diving down low. Kraus staying on that outside line. Pinheiro with that good lunge, trying to get into second place. It's not going to be money for him. But here he comes once more as Chris Wilhite heads into the pit lane. And this is 3 wide through turn 2. Adam Crane round the outside. More bang for your buck. Double overtake round the outside. Adam Crane. And that's why he's leading the championship right now.
And now still side by side are Kraus and Pinheiro, and I think this was the perfect time for Wilhite to go to the pits because these 3 guys are battling it out very hard on the track. Andrew Marquez is also in, so Kraus drops from 2nd to 4th in a matter of a couple of laps. And Crane, what a fantastic move! And let me tell you,
he saw the opportunity and then he really went for it. They both went a little bit low. Crane saw the window around the outside. And he just took away from everybody now. He's pulling a gap. This is Marquez in the pit lane.
Yeah, Austin, let me tell you, we have had at least one beautiful pass per race, and this was, I mean, another candidate for overtake of the season. I know that the iRacing gods have really liked what happened in Zandvoort last time around. So. Shows how beautiful this series is.
Yeah, beautiful racing here on the IndyCar series. Everybody really loving this series, and you know, every race we're getting amazing action out on track, overtakes, tense moments and everything. You know, Adam Blocker and his split strategy choice at Zandvoort was tweeted out on the iRacing account. This is Phil Kraus heading out of the pits. We saw him lock up the brakes heading into the pit lane, and you kind of want to watch yourself coming out of the pits here because there's an odd bump exiting pit road. This is Adam Crane after a beautiful overtake heading into the pits. And so does Adam Blocker head into the pits now.
Yeah, so Pinheiro will take the lead.
If he stays out.
If he stays out, you are absolutely correct, Austin.
I don't believe he is, because he's heading into the pit lane.
Brophy will probably stay out, because Brophy stopped on lap 5.
Yeah, Brophy definitely has the fuel in his car to stay out and overtake for the lead. Passes Pinheiro. Adam Blocker is in his box, and Brafi, your new overall leader, but down his inside is, well, one of our lapped cars that has just gone to the pit lane on much fresher tires, and they're easily able to go around to the outside, as that's Alex Vanderzant.
So much for damaged car. I mean,
yeah, his car seems perfectly balanced. You know, his last lap time was a 23.58. So he's on the pace of everybody else, even with a repaired car. So, you know, that damage seems very minor when you think about just aero.
Jason Brophy's in. And now he's out.
And as we return to racing, our leaderboard, it reads Adam Blocker in the lead, Philip Kraus, Adam Crane, Will Hite, and Pinero are top 5. And it seems like the early pit stop for Chris Wilhite was able to jump Pinero. We saw Wilhite go into the pits when they were attempting that 3-wide pass with Adam Crane, and Wilhite, who went in on lap 69, was able to leapfrog Pinero.
Absolutely, Austin. Here we go.
And here is Pinero attempting to return the favor back onto Wilhite. Down to the inside. There's a lot of smoke up here. And turns 3 and 4. But Pinero goes down to the inside. Easy as pie. Up in the 4th.
$60 laps to go as we speak. Blocker from Kraus, from Crane, Pinero and White, your top 5. Andrew Marquez is in 6th. Wallet is in 7th in front of Jason Brophy. Angelniak is in 9th. No, because there's been a pass, because Jason Wallet, he stopped on lap 9, so it was a bit of strategy, that's why. Goes in for his scheduled stop. So Angelniak should go up into 8th and Gerhardt into 9th.
He's side by side right now with Philip Kraus. He's going to have to let him by. Kraus down to the inside and getting past Rob. And now this lap traffic, moving through traffic, is really going to be the name of the game, because there is cars all over this track right now. Only 6 cars on the lead lap after that pit cycle. Adam Blocker is putting everybody through their paces right now. 12 seconds to Kraus in 2nd.
Pinero is coming for Crane.
Pinero definitely putting the pedal to the metal, using the tires to his advantage right now. You don't want to use all the tires immediately because, you know, to make it to the end of the race, you definitely need rubber, as we saw what happened to Vanderzant. Near the end of his run, was really abusing those tires, and we saw the back end get very squirrely, and they ended up on the inside of the wall. But Crane now having to deal with some traffic ahead of him. This is going to be good news for Pinero. As they're going too wide ahead of Crane, that's Gerhardt ahead of him as they pass, I believe that was Todd, that number 16 car. Crane going down to the inside of Gerhardt. Ooh, almost a tricky situation right there. Pinero goes down to the inside, not going to be able to catch Gerhardt right there.
And now it's Pinero's time to lose a bit of time. And now he gets past Gerhardt.
I don't think he lost any bit of, I think he gained time on Crane. Got 6/10 separates these two cars, and yeah, Pinero did have a faster last lap, just barely by 0.05 of a second. But Pinero and Crane very well balanced between each other. As both right on board of Adam Crane. Looking back at Pinero, and just look at the difference of lines that they're taking. this is both of them where they want to be, but Crane's taking a much tighter line compared to Pinheiro taking that much wider line. So Adam Crane's definitely has a car set up to run that bottom line much better than anyone else, but you know, how long are his tires really going to be working for? He continues that.
See this lap for Crane, 23.29, 23.35 for Pinheiro. They are very, very equally matched. So I don't think that's, I mean, and they have been equally matched for the entirety of the race. So I think Pinheiro will catch back to Crane, like they're still very, very close. Phil Cross is the big winner of this pit cycle. He's up into second, and he has really pulled away from the drivers he was battling with before the stops.
Yeah, Kraus and you know, Kraus was involved in that three-way fight. Adam Crane did get the leapfrog on him, but Kraus decided to go into the pits earlier and leave Adam Crane to take a few extra laps, but Kraus had a better pit stop. Actually, no, Kraus actually had a worse pit stop. He spent more time in the box, but, you know, when he decided to head into the pits, that was the right time because those tires were really dead at that point.
Some more lap traffic, that's the name of the game today. We saw, and these drivers are a bit lucky. I think that the numbers of the sign-ups, basically the race split this way, so we didn't have a bigger grid because it split almost right down the middle. Remember, a max split size is 26 cars.
Yeah,
so
we have 31 drivers signed up entering this SOF here at New Hampshire, and I know a lot of drivers are not a fan of New Hampshire. It's a very weird track to get your bearings at. And while Adam Crane's still trying to pass Uncle next, here's Pinheiro closing in that gap. And, you know, if Rob decides to let both of them by right now, that's going to be advantage Pinheiro. Because Adam Crane's still onto the inside, side by side. There goes Rob, letting off to the throttle. Here goes Pinheiro.
We know also we have the beautiful thing of this series that we have road courses, we have ovals, and we know a lot of drivers only do part of the schedule. For example, João G. Gregorio is not doing the ovals, he's very quick on the road, so hopefully he's watching the race with us today. With us today, you know, maybe he's in, you know, enjoying the show, and maybe he gets the oval racing, you know, maybe he wants to, yeah, exactly, he wants to join us. He said not this season, he said maybe next season, but I mean, how can you not love this? This is amazing, and the fact that, of course, just like in road racing, you have all kinds of different tracks. Same for the ovals, you have all kinds of different ovals. I mean, we were at Auto Club a couple of weeks ago, now we are here, two completely different racetracks. By the way, Austin, next week we will be heading to an amazing racetrack. We will be heading to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for another road course, and again, that's a fantastic place to race.
Yeah, fantastic place to race. We usually don't see IndyCar racing here in real life, but it's so fun to race IndyCars around there in the simulator and here on iRacing. It's a great scan, and you know, IndyCar should definitely race around there because Montreal is such a fantastic place, and that track provides a lot of exciting racing as Pinheiro gets past Uncle next, and now that gap between him and Crane has widened to 1.6 seconds between them.
Just a reminder that after Montreal we'll be heading for the big one, the Indianapolis Oval race. Then it's going to be another awesome Canadian road course in Mosport, and then we round up at Austin's home race in Texas for the remaining 4 rounds of the championship. A reminder that, of course, unless you live in Arizona and a couple of other states, we're switching to winter time to standard time on Sunday, so check your local listings.
Yeah, check your local listings. They might be different from what they are currently. But as of right now, 4 cars on the lead lap, and Pinheiro, you know, if he was looking in his rearview mirror, there's a blue car that just came out of turn 1. That is Adam Blocker, who is really on fire. And with 40 laps remaining, you know, I think he might be able to lap the entire field.
And Austin, the big winner of this traffic sequence has been Adam Crane, who was pulled clear away from Pinheiro. So definitely
100%.
playing his cars right, and he's also lapping a bit faster than Philip Kroos. So let's see what we have. Maybe we have something in store for the second place after all. But Pinheiro, after a beautiful first part of the race, has been really struggling to translate that pace he had in the opening stint into this second stint, which is a bit strange, if you ask me.
Well, it's the traffic really taking away his preferred line around that outside line, and now we know why Crane has a car that runs that bottom line much better, because he knows coming out of the pit lane is going to be, coming out of that second stint, there's going to be a lot more traffic involved, a lot more lap traffic. So if he takes a car that is much better on that inside line, he doesn't have to worry about getting into his preferred line for that car and drive that car to his advantage and get through this traffic much easier. And that's what Crane's done to build that gap and start closing in on Philip Kraus, who's currently in second place. But, you know, Kraus and Crane are currently, I believe, in clean air, as this is Adam Blocker closing in on a few more cars, but he is closing in on Pinheiro. He's about to be a lap down.
Marcus is closing in on Chris Wheellight, gap down to 0.8 of a second.
The last lap was nearly identical, but the lap before that, he has gained 0.2 on Marquez over the last few laps. So Marquez has gained 0.2 on Will Height ahead of him. See Will Height taking that outside line. Marquez more of a fan of that inside line. You also gotta remember on how aggressive these drivers are currently being on these tires. There's still a lot of race left, a lot of corners left on these tires as well. So everyone's going to be really paying attention to these tires and how much they need to put into the steering input and how much they need to back up their throttle inputs as well.
And Austin, just like in the first stint, I'm seeing that now a bit after the start, we had the battles come together. Now, a bit after the second stop, we are having now drivers coming back together. We have Wheellight, Marquez and Brophy all in a fight with each other. Angelnieks and Gerhardt, here they are fighting it out. And Kroos and Crane, 1 second between them. Even less than that now. So we had a little bit of rest, and now the fireworks are starting to go again, in my opinion.
It's, well, we breathed in, now it's time to breathe out, and excitement indeed. Kraus and Crane, the fight for second is starting to come back to us right now. Adam Crane's got a great car. As, well, there's a little bit of radio chatter right now. Please call that out. Don't do that again. And I think that was to Todd, who has dived into the pit lane and might have cut across of one driver who is not happy about that. So if we get a replay of what happened there, of what's happened to Todd. Oh, that was right in front of Van der Zandt.
Yeah, Van der Zandt is saying, you know, already had a bad day. Don't want to make it worse.
Definitely don't want to make it worse. Alex Van der Zandt had contact with the wall. Or Gerhardt and Rommel was coming in together off the exit right there. Gerhardt having to push the car way down to the inside once more. As this is the fight for 8th place. Oh. Gerhardt sliding, and she saved it.
Saved it somehow, as this is right in front of Chris Wheellight and Pinheiro. Chris Wheellight with Marquez and Brophy also in this fight here, and Van der Zandt there also running around.
It's charging through the field right here.
It's getting a bit jam-packed here, the traffic. Oh man, and Van der Zandt almost backing into the back of Jason Brophy.
Yeah, Van der Zandt went into the pits on lap 95. He couldn't make it to the end of the race after his incident, so he's pitted for the fastest strategy that he knows how. Fresh tires and, well, barreling through the field right now and trying to gain some extra time on cars ahead of him because, you know, he is still a lap down to P12 ahead. But if he can put the laps together, he will be able to start making up spots through the field. This is Marquez. Van der Zandt's right behind. Van der Zandt with the faster car, as both of them are trying to pass the 13 of Tim Williams. They both dive down to the inside. No drama whatsoever. And Marquez probably notices that Van der Zandt is faster and it's not going to be causing a lot of problems for him. There's Van der Zandt down low and easily gets past Marquez. Back to Adam Crane and Kraus. Half a second separates them with 25 laps to go here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, the counter has moved from counting up to counting down. That's what we know, that, you know, things are starting to get serious. Stuart, Jacqueline, thank you for subscribing to Apex Racing TV on YouTube. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. We are, absolutely. Another fantastic race, and the surprises are never over. At Crane, Austin, what a race.
Yeah, Adam Crane, fantastic race.
Bad qualifying, he has never looked back since. Move of the race so far, in my opinion, and he's been on a constant upwards trajectory, basically from the start of the race.
Yeah, it wasn't the fact that the move was for the lead. It was the fact it was just a fantastic move at the time, just to swing it around the outside when two cars ahead of you are battling onto the inside. He was just waiting for his moment, and Adam Crane really able to jump ahead. And then he pulled out a little bit of gap, but now he's got to do it again, once again on Philip Kraus, who is right ahead of him. But he has been slowly catching Kraus now, and Kraus, I think, is going to be looking in his mirrors wondering, how is this guy back on my tail once more? As, well, the car ahead of him, Adam Blocker, is off in another time zone at this point. 20 seconds ahead, and he is right at the heels of Pinero right now.
As he's sizing him up, and that red, blue and white car getting bigger and bigger from our rear view camera. We've been sitting on for the past couple of laps.
Yeah, Kraus defending onto the inside, not going to be there for Adam Crane. Crane going later off the throttle right now. Kraus defending onto the inside once more, but Adam Crane, he is definitely sizing him up. They got 19 more laps to go. 20 more for them. They are not a lap down yet, but if they continue this up, they will slow up into the clutches of Adam Blocker and Pinero. So, you know, this fight could definitely go all the way to the end, as Kraus defending all the way to the bottom of the track. Crane going for a switchback. Look at the speed that Crane has. Here comes Crane. Crane down to the inside, heading into turns 1 and 2. Crane going down low. Kraus staying on that outside line. Crane with that switchback move, able to get some momentum right there, but Kraus still staying on that outside line. He's going to have to force go down low once more. Kraus and Crane. Crane and Kraus side by side through 3 and 4. It is a very delicate dance. Crane staying on to the inside up. Once more with Kraus almost making contact with the wall. They are not leaving any room for each other right here. Once again, it's Crane and Kraus. Kraus gets off the throttle mid-corner, and that's going to be Adam Crane up into second place. What a charge. Bad qualifying. Barely misses a massive wreck with Connor Harrington at the start of this race, and able to get up into second place, up 5 spots from where he qualified. This is Lauren Gerhardt once again behind Rob Ungeldex. They got Will Height on the outside, and here comes Marquez. This is a fight, and Gerhardt's around. We got a late caution. Andrew Marquez and Gerhardt are up in the wall with 16 laps to go.
And so we had 2 sets of drivers fighting, you know, 2 by 2 in, you know, different spots of the standings, but close on the track, and that was a recipe for disaster. We had Gerhardt with Angeldex and Marquez with Will Height. Here they are. And
Laura
that
has
didn't
just
work
got
out.
loose.
Yeah.
Laura just got loose. Yep.
Yeah.
There goes back in and right in front of Marquez.
Oof.
Marquez trying to avoid it, but you know there's a wall out there, and he's hit that, and that is so unfortunate. If you are Marquez, you know he's going out to the inside of the wall. He sees the spin, and when he sees the spin, he's locked up the front wheel right there, and then he became a passenger, unable to avoid Laura Gearhart. So 15 laps to go. Caution's out. Everyone's on worn tires. I think it's time for people to go into the pits now. What is Adam Blocker going to do with everybody? Because they're going to have a fresh tire restart, or are we going to be seeing all these worn tires? Everyone's going to go into the pits.
Okay, so the rules for this restart are single file, but we will restart with more than 10 laps to go. Therefore, the lapped cars, if they are between the lead lap cars, they will stay there. They will not be moved to the back. That is only with 10 laps left. So let's see if we get that situation or not.
Also, yeah, all the lap cars are staying out. I keep forgetting that there are only 4 cars on the lead lap. So it's going to be a race off pit road. Not much of a race. Adam Blocker wins off pit road. Here comes Crane. And then there's Kraus and Pinero. So our top 4, and those are our 4 protagonists heading into, well, this final restart.
Okay, let's see. I
Single
mean,
file restarts.
Yeah, this was a bit of a
Curveball.
Curveball, yeah, absolutely, Austin, absolutely. Let's see. Willite, he stays out, so Van de Zandt is out. I'm seeing if there's any other car in front. That's Todd Larrabee. They are on the same lap, Larrabee and Van de Zandt. They will all get the wave around, so will Jason Brophy. And so we should have the top 4 cars all next to each other.
Yeah, our top 4 are
line astern, of course, not next to each other.
Yes.
At the restart.
Yes, but also we can expect the midfield to be fighting with each other because they're all on worn tires, but they're back onto the lead lap. They could have gone onto tires once more and stay on the lead lap because it's a pretty slow pace lap around here. Everyone's going around the track at 50 miles an hour. Yeah, 55, I believe, is the pace speed.
So Austin, what are your picks? I mean, it would be very easy to say Blocker, but we know sometimes how it works.
Been moving up. Crane has been moving up through the field. He's had two of the biggest overtakes of the day. I feel like he's going for the trifecta. He's the leader of the IndyCar Championship right now. Adam Crane and Adam Blocker are going to be having a battle to the line, but Adam Crane has been doing a lot more overtakes than Adam Blocker has. So Blocker is going to be, he's going to try to get him on the restart. But if Crane's able to stay there, I'm going to have to say Adam Crane will be challenging Blocker and might be able to get the win. But if something happens to them, Philip Kraus is always there.
Look at Crane playing some mind games, perhaps.
Trying to force Blocker to stay down low and already get his wing up there. Can't pass around the inside. You can only pass around the right on the restart until he gets to the start-finish line. Adam Blocker, all 2 restarts today. He's been nailing it, going very early. Let's see if Crane can't predict when Blocker's going to go. Pace car is in. Crane's on the gearbox. Right now it's back to green. And Crane is there. 11 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Crane, Blocker, Crane, Kraus, Pinero, your top 4 racing for the lead. And Kraus is on the back of Adam Crane. Crane going a bit wide on those cold tires, almost making contact with the wall. Losing time to Adam Blocker. Once again, Kraus looking down to the inside of Adam Crane. going to try to get the momentum. 10 laps remaining as they go through turns 1 and 2, heading into 3 and 4. Adam Blocker disappearing into the distance. Here's Philip Kraus sending it into 3 and 4. It's not going to be enough, though. Crane able to hold it around to the outside. Kraus trying around the outside once more, trying to go for the switchback. We see Crane struggling for grip there. He had a little bit of wheel through the mid-corner, right in front of Kraus. Kraus going down low. Kraus got a lot of speed. Kraus and Crane once again heading into turns 3 and 4. These two have been battling throughout the entire race.
And here comes Pinheiro.
Look at the speed that Pinheiro has. He's going to overtake Kraus. But Pinheiro, now he's stuck on the inside. Kraus around to the outside. Kraus takes 3rd place back. This is beautiful racing between these 3 drivers. And as a fight, I believe you can write this check to Adam Blocker at this point, because side by side for second and third, as this is Jason Brophy and Chris Wilhite battling for 5th place. Jason and Chris are both on extremely worn tires. The newest tires is on lap 76. There is a big sigh heading into the radio. I think that was from Jason Brophy giving up the fight to Chris Wilhite, as he might have had a giant slip of wheel spin right there, as Kraus is right back on Crane. Here comes Kraus looking down to the inside. He's got a big run heading into 3 and 4. This is very tight racing between these two. Wilhite. Kraus on the inside. I'm not sure why I said Wilhite right there.
Oh,
Kraus.
man.
Oh, this is very tightly defended by Crane. But Crane using all the tricks in the book with 5 laps to go. This is a dogfight here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, Crane setup definitely not good on the short run. That's what we learned at this point in time, Austin. But he's trying to hold on with everything he has. But Kraus wants to get the job done and get a 1-2 for his team. Let's see if he can. Easier said than done, as you were saying, Blocker, riding off in the sunset once again.
Yeah, if Kraus and Crane weren't fighting with each other, this would be a different story right here. It's kind of what we saw at Auto Club when that charging back was closing in on our 3 leaders, and then they started fighting amongst themselves, and that lead pack was unable to catch up with it. Adam Blocker was not happy about that, as he was in that charging pack, but everyone started fighting with each other. And well, now Adam Blocker has a 1.9 second lead to Crane and Kraus, but Adam Crane, what a race. 2 laps to go, and 2 more laps for Kraus to try to make his way up into 2nd place. Three more attempts for Kraus after this. White flag in the air. Adam Blocker, Crane, Kraus, Pinheiro. Adam Blocker headed through turns 1 and 2, riding it down Easy Street, but right behind him, I would have to say it's not Easy Street at all. I feel like it's a trip down Electric Avenue between those two, but they've sorted out their differences, and it's going to be Crane. Adam Blocker takes the victory here at New Hampshire, followed by Adam Crane and Philip Kraus in 3rd, and Pinheiro finishes home in 4th place.
What a beautiful race.
Yeah, Brophy able to make his overtake on Wilhite, jumping up into 5th place. Wilhite finishes in 6th. Rob Ogleneck's in 7th. Willett in 8th place, as Williams finishes out in 9th. Marquez, unfortunately, after being caught up in that incident with Laura Gearhart, finishes in 10th. Gearhart finishes down in 11th. Alex Van der Zandt, unfortunately, after making contact with that inside wall, makes come home in 12th place, followed by Larry in 13th. Isidro, Craig, and Harrington, as Adam Blocker burns it down here at New Hampshire.
Yes, we have confirmation of the results on your screen right now, as Austin was going through them briefly after the end of the race. And now, as per tradition, we'll try to get some interviews for you, so all the drivers that want to join us are absolutely free to do so. I think the Adam is coming. He's just a bit busy at the moment.
Oh, Adam Cranes, I think, is also coming as well. But Adam Blocker, he is over the moon. one word to describe Adam Blocker's race: dominating.
He's trying to blow the engine, I would imagine.
He's trying to blow the tires. He's trying to blow the engine. Oh, there goes the engine.
And there goes the
success. Well, if you want some smoked brisket, Adam Blocker is currently cooking them using his engine as a smoker. What another crazy race in the IndyCar series. Coming down to the final laps, late caution with late excitement again, but Adam Blocker, it was his day from the start.
It was, Austin. He really pulled away at the beginning and never looked back. And you know, this late caution could have basically when the caution came out, he was just behind the drivers in second, third, and fourth. So it was a complete domination. And so when the caution comes out in this particular moment, Austin, it's a perfect way, a perfect moment to lose your cool, but of course that was not what happened, and now we can finally ask him in person because he's standing by with you, Austin.
Yep, standing by with Adam Blocker. Adam, that race was a walk down easy street, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely want to thank everybody on Power Slide because we definitely put together I think the best set tonight. Yeah, I think there was a couple moments. I think Phil knew how to handle cold tires better than I did, so he kind of pressured me at the start, and I was kind of worried. But once I settled into a rhythm, yeah, our set really just held on really well in the long run, and yeah, it just felt really fun to drive, and was really just fun to drive New Hampshire for the first time in official for like 3 years. So.
Well, your return to this track in 3 years has definitely returned in the best way possible with a monumental win. That late caution, did you get a little bit worried that some of the cars behind you were able, like you said, they were much faster on the cold tires than you were? Did you get a little bit worried when that late caution came out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was more worried after the caution than before it, but yeah, I mean, I kind of knew everybody would pit, and so I just, to make cold tires safer, I took out some front wing, and I just adjusted my weight jacker and adjusted my line a little bit. Still wasn't perfect. A few laps in, I kind of realized what I should have been doing, but yeah, I should have just been running a little bit higher line on cold tires. But yeah, in the end, once I got into a rhythm again, it was kind of smooth sailing to the checkered.
Yeah, smooth sailing it is. We go to Montreal next week, back onto the road courses. How are you feeling about next week after a great win here today?
Yeah, we definitely need to work to find something on some of the road courses. I think like Zandvoort, we had a really good setup, but Red Bull Ring, we completely missed it. So we kind of got to figure out what went wrong there and kind of just learn more about how to set this car up on road courses right now on the new tire. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Montreal is normally a good track, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some good racing.
All right, good racing is definitely what the series has been providing throughout this entire season, so we look for a amazing race next week. Before we let you go, Adam, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank the team, Laura, Henry, Hugo, everybody else on the team that, puts in work to the setups all the time, and yeah, I just want to thank you guys for calling the race and everyone for coming out. It was, 30 people, a split. New Hampshire's pretty solid, and just want to encourage everybody to vote. We have 24 hours left to vote for the schedule next year, so yeah. See you guys at Montreal.
Yeah, we'll see you there too. Once again, congrats on a fantastic win, Adam.
Yep, thanks.
And so, Austin, that was Adam Blocker. As we wait a bit for other drivers to show up, just a little bit of a preview of what we can expect from Montreal. Of course, it's a road course that has been the home of some very nice champ car races back in the day. Thinking about, of course, early to mid-2000s. So these cars are at home around there. It's an interesting racetrack, a combination of a lot of fast straights and very tricky chicanes. Especially, we know the first lap around there can be quite problematic, but also a track that allows for plenty of passing. There is at the very least 3 or 4 big passing opportunities, but at the same time, in a day and age when even the street courses, especially around this side of the pond in Europe, have miles of runoff area, Montreal doesn't really adhere to that philosophy, right?
Yeah, Montreal's runoff is just about 2 feet of grass and then a big old concrete wall. There's some runoff in the braking zones, but other than that, if you get pushed out a bit wide, you're going to be making friends with your pit crew as they repair your aero. It's going to be a very, very fun race. Lap 1 is going to be very fun to watch. Another thing to watch out for is how that track and tires work together, because like you said, there's a lot of chicanes there, but most of the chicanes are pretty high speed, but in that opening sector, the chicanes are pretty low speed, especially with that opening left and right-handed complex coming immediately out of the start-finish line. Also, Wall of Champions, everything, and I don't really need to say anything. It's in the name. Everybody knows Wall of Champions has taken a lot of cars. So if you're pushing and you just make a little mistake, you push a little bit too hard off the exit, you might be making friends and writing your name on the wall.
And of course, as we always say, the track has been scanned where the NASCAR Xfinity Series was visiting. So we have those white extra very big sausage curbs that, open wheel cars especially don't really like them, so I need to pay attention to that as well. And then of course after Montreal, it's the big one, it's Indianapolis. We know what happened the last time the top split open series was here on Apex Racing TV. We went to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Of course, if we don't get if we don't get the same level of excitement, I will be very disappointed, which means a finish of the race with the leaders crashing and the winner crossing the start-finish line flying over other cars. Yeah, maybe I'm a bit optimistic, but all jokes aside, it's Indianapolis. Everyone wants to win the SOF race at Indianapolis.
Absolutely. Indianapolis, always the crown jewel on the Indy schedule, no matter if it's the official series Indianapolis or it's the big one, official race of Indianapolis that's held every once a year, or other league races at Indianapolis. That's the one that everybody circles on their calendar, but that is after we go racing next week at Montreal. Thank you everybody for joining us here on the iRacing IndyCar Open Series Championship here on Apex Racing TV from New Hampshire. I've been joined by Marco Bobanera. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.